On December 2nd, the first ETF that is dedicated to companies related to NFTs started trading on the NYSE market. This ETF is called NFTZ, and the fund operating this ETF is called Defiance. Out of the 34 companies that are in this ETF holding, there are 6 companies that ARK Invest also invests in. These companies are Silvergate Capital, ticker SI, Cloudfare, ticker NET, Coinbase, ticker COIN, Square, ticker SQ, Robinhood, ticker HOOD, and Draftkings, ticker DKNG. In today's video, we'll talk about Silvergate Capital, the biggest holding in NFTZ. We'll answer questions like, how is Silvergate related to NFTs? Are they overvalued or undervalued? Do they have a defensible product? What are their growth opportunities? And we'll also talk about any recent news that have impacted them either positively or negatively. Silvergate's background and its main defensible product. Silvergate was founded in 1988 and became a commercial bank in 2009. They initially operated as a traditional bank and provided traditional banking services such as commercial banking, business lending, and real estate lending. In 2013, Silvergate started to provide banking services for cryptocurrencies because they saw a growth potential. Since then, Silvergate has significantly expanded and has successfully become the leading pure-play crypto bank in the United States. Almost all of its deposits are from crypto clients. Silvergate became a leader in digital currency banking because of their global payment platform. In 2017, they created the Silvergate Exchange Network, SEN, and launched it in early 2018. SEN was the first ever payment platform that connects institutional investors and digital currency exchanges for free. All Silvergate customers can use SEN for free in real time 24/7. SEN's proprietary technology allows different currency exchanges to talk to each other. For example, let's say Fund A sells Bitcoin on the Coinbase digital currency exchange and gets US dollars in exchange. And then Fund A takes the US dollars and buys Bitcoin on the Genesis digital currency exchange. Silvergate first validates that all the parties, Fund A, Coinbase, Genesis, have a deposit account with Silvergate. And if so, then SEN instantaneously moves US dollars from Coinbase to Genesis. So SEN allows Coinbase and Genesis, which are separate digital currency exchanges, to talk to each other and seamlessly allows the transfer of money in real time. Since the first rollout of SEN in early 2018, Silvergate IPO'd in November 2019. When the company IPO'd, their stock price was around $13. In just 2 years, they're now trading at $165. Just looking at the stock chart makes no sense at all. But when you also look at how the company's digital currency volume has grown, it starts to make sense. The number of Silvergate's digital currency customers have more than doubled from 542 in 2018 to over 1,300 in the most recent quarter of Q3 2021. Still, that is nowhere near in comparison to the stock price jumping from $13 to $165. But if you look at transfer volumes on SEN, it went from $2 billion in 2018 to $162 billion. And digital currency deposits went from $1.6 billion in Q3 2018 to $11.5 billion in Q3 2021. But don't get too excited because Silvergate's revenue isn't that impressive. Their top line of net interest income, otherwise known as revenue in this case, was $37.7 million in Q3 2021. There is no doubt that cryptocurrency prices also correlated to Silvergate's stock price. Silvergate's digital currency customer breakdown in Q3 2021 was 830 institutional investors, which is 64%, 94 digital currency exchanges, which is 7%, and 381 other customers, which is 29%. Digital currency exchange customers include Coinbase, Genesis, and Bitstamp. Institutional investors include traditional asset managers, hedge funds, venture capital funds, and other funds that invest digital currencies. Other customers include companies that develop digital currency platforms, applications, digital currency mining operations, and other digital currency-related services. Silvergate charges 0 fees to customers for transactions on SEN, so the main way Silvergate monetizes SEN is to take the non-interest deposits from the digital currency customers and then loans them to other customers primarily as residential mortgage-backed securities and other securities to make interest income. Future growth opportunities. As the first ever real-time 24/7 global payment platform that allows money to move seamlessly across digital currency exchanges, Silvergate's SEN platform is way ahead of competitors. And even with other competitors, more institutional investors and corporations continue to add digital currency into their assets. JP Morgan analyst Stephen Alexopoulos believes that we will increasingly see digital assets on companies' balance sheets as a short-term investment besides cash. Some examples of companies that have adopted digital currency are Tesla, which invested $1.5 billion in Bitcoin in the first 9 months of 2021, Square, which purchased approximately $220 million in Bitcoin, and other huge notable funds. NFTs are traded in its own NFT marketplace on certain digital currency exchanges. For example, Binance and FTX.US are crypto exchanges that already have NFT marketplaces, and Blockchain.com is launching an NFT marketplace in the coming weeks. A number of these crypto exchanges are already customers of Silvergate, including Binance. And as such, as the NFT market becomes more and more popular and even mainstream, digital currency exchanges that have NFT marketplaces and institutional investors that invest in NFTs will all rely on Silvergate's SEN to make deposits and move the US dollars from one exchange to another. Analyst consensus and target prices. According to CFRA's quantitative stock report on December 2nd, 2021, Silvergate is trading at 57.5 times forward PE ratio and 4.1 times PB ratio. Since then, the stock price has fallen close to 20%, so the ratios should be lower. However, even so, the ratios are still outrageously overvalued compared to its peers, which have an average of 10 times forward PE ratio and 1.5 times PB ratio. The peers are small banks, so the comparison is not really fair, because Silvergate has its proprietary technology platform, SEN, that investors and analysts have a huge bet on. But for now, since Silvergate has not figured out a way to convert the gigantic transaction volume between digital currency exchanges on SEN to significant monetization, Silvergate is compared to traditional banks in the valuation. Silvergate's current analyst consensus price target is on average $197, with a low of $122 and a high of $300. JP Morgan's price target as of November 11th after the Q3 earnings report was $300. Morgan Stanley's price target was upgraded on December 6th from $181 to $260. Zacks Investment Research raised Silvergate Capital from a sell rating to a hold rating in a research note on November 29th. 4 investment analysts have rated the stock with a hold rating, and 6 have issued a buy rating to the company's stock. Risks. One of the biggest risks for Silvergate will be how regulation shapes up for cryptocurrency companies, and banks are always the most regulated of industries. Other risks are competitors creating a bigger and better platform that is similar to SEN, and another key risk is how Silvergate will monetize SEN. Currently, their valuation is crazy high because of the future potential. But if Silvergate can't somehow leverage their increasing transaction volume into significant monetization, then it will be difficult to justify Silvergate's valuation. Recent news. On December 6th, Silvergate announced a public offering of 3.3 million shares of common shares at a price to the public of $145 per share. The company also granted the underwriters a 30-day option to purchase up to an additional 500,000 shares of Class A common stock. The aggregate gross proceeds of the offering would be approximately $552 million before discounts and expenses. The company intends to use the net proceeds from the proposed offering to further supplement the regulatory capital levels of the company and for other general corporate purposes and strategic acquisitions and growth. The offering is expected to close on December 9th, 2021.